JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 11th of November 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Guys, welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts. So the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei, and Nikkei continues to drive to the upside. As you can see, the steep up move here we're having, it managed to close today above this 25,254 territory, which is, by the way, let me just jump back into a monthly chart, which is, by the way, the highest point of November of 1991, guys. So we've managed to overcome that area. We're staying there above right now, but of course we'll continue monitoring this index, and of course the cash equities, the equity indices of Europe and US, because again, if those suddenly, let's say, reverse today to the downside, then we can see the cash index of Nikkei drifting back down. So basically we could be seeing a bit of a correction later on, but again, at the moment we cannot really talk about that correction until we see a nice good move here to the downside. A move back below this 25,254 territory could in a way open the door towards slightly lower areas, just for this index to go for a bit of a corrective move here. But again, for now, guys, be very careful, be very cautious, and yep, if you want to look at some higher levels above that, then well, of course we need to jump back into the monthly chart and try to find a next potential area of resistance, which in a way, of course, could be this 27,251 territory. But don't get me wrong, it might correct lower at some point before actually traveling towards that area. So in other words, there is a bit of a problem here with finding maybe a good potential target in terms of if we look at the daily chart. I mean, we don't have really much historic data here on TradingView on the daily chart, so that's why I'm looking at here on the monthly chart. And in a way, my next target here could be that highest point of June of 2000 and keep saying 2000, that's 1991, guys. So, and that level is around the 26,000 mark, so 26,017, but we can round it up here a little bit towards that 26,000. So basically that's the next potential target here for this index. So yep, let's see if we can actually reach that earlier and before kind of getting that a nice correction here to the downside. So let's keep an eye on that one. Now jumping into Hang Seng index. So Hong Kong's Hang Seng also having a nice push higher. It's still open. It's still trading. It's trading slightly in the green. However, it's struggling with the yesterday's high here, which was around this 26,474 territory. So in a way, looking at this picture, if you want to look at some higher levels, wait for a pop above this, because as we can see today, the index is struggling with this barrier. So that's why we would prefer to wait for a push above the 26,474 territory first, because such a move would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and the next target then could be this the highest point of July of this year, and that's roughly around the 26,782 mark. So let's keep an eye on that one. In terms of the downside on this one, short-term downside, well, I would prefer to maybe see a drop below this 25,950 territory first, and then consider maybe a bit of a move lower. But again, at the moment, the downside is slightly off the table here. We're leaning a little bit more to the upside, but to get a little bit more excited and comfortable with that idea, we need to see a push above the 26,474 territory. The German index, the DAX here, and yep, the index continues to kind of push higher, and yesterday it did close in the green, of course, but still remained below some of these key resistance levels. Now, previously I talked about this idea that if it struggles to overcome that 13,263 territory straight away, then maybe we could see a bit of a correction here to the downside. But looking at the cash index right now, we can see that the price is currently near the 13,220 zone. So basically, it's not far from this level. It's above yesterday's close, so that's good news, but it's not really yet above this hurdle. So in a way, I'm going to keep an eye on that this 13,263 territory. If we're gonna get a nice push higher, then well, of course, keep your eyes on this week's high, which is roughly, and let me just put this one on the chart. Now, I do apologize for the amount of lines here. Actually, let me get rid of some of these, so clear up the chart a little bit here. So basically, the 13,297, or in a way the 300 level, we could keep an eye on that one. If that gets broken, then yes, we'll aim for some higher levels. If it struggles to overcome all this area right here, then maybe this index could go for a bit of a correction here back down, maybe towards the this downside line here, to test it from above. But if that gets broken and the price falls below this downside line, now this is where we'll start looking at maybe some lower areas, guys. So yep, keep your eyes on that one. Now, jumping into DXY here, and another index, but this one is a dollar index, of course, and here you can see that the index is currently in a slight corrective mode. Now, don't get me wrong, this might be seen as a potential bullish indication because it seems to be forming a bullish flag, but we cannot really talk about the upside yet until we see at least a push above the current highest point of this year, this week, near the 92.97 level, which is around here. So if we get a nice pop above it, then yes, higher levels in a way could be met. But as I mentioned to you guys previously, that's still, for me, the more comfortable area after a break of which I could consider some higher areas would be here around this 93.55 level. So let's keep an eye on that one. But in case this this index starts dropping back down here and drops below this 92.24 level right here, then yep, this is where we could maybe start looking at some lower areas again here. But for now, let's keep an eye on this one right here, this current highest point of this week near the 92.97 level. A nice good pop above it may open the door towards higher areas. Gold is still struggling with this downside line. So after kind of dropping on Monday here heavily, dropping back below this downside line, then yesterday it recovered a little bit, it retraced somewhat. Today it's still stuck here. So basically, in other words, this downside line is doing the trick again. So it's providing excuse me, good resistance, but still, if you remember, I said that I'll still look at some lower levels if we get a drop back below the 1860 territory right here, and then yes, if we get a nice drop below it, then yes, I'll aim for some lower areas. But at the moment, it's stuck here. I'm taking a bit of a neutral stand here because even with the upside, I need to see at least a break of this downside line and a push back at least above the 1911 territory again before examining the upside again. WTI oil. So here, finally, we're having a beautiful move here. And yesterday, as you can see, that we had a nice daily candle staying above this area, above this 41.46 level. And today we're seeing that continuation move higher. And this is what I kept talking about this week, last week. And basically, I was saying that if we get a nice daily close here above this area, this is where it could be attractive again for the buyers, and we could start maybe aiming for the highest point of August near the 43.75 levels. So that's going to be my next target, especially if the price remains above the 41.46 level. If it starts dropping back down here, then, well, I'll reevaluate everything again. We'll have to just see what's happening here. Maybe we'll consider maybe this one, the steep upside line, as a potential kind of area to watch here, or should I say near this upside line there, the potential area to watch at then of course I'll take it from there. But again, like I said, for now everything's looking quite positive, so I'll continue targeting the upside here and aiming for that 43.75 territory. But like I said, if it suddenly drops back below the 41.46 territory, I'll take a bit of a neutral stand here and then just see what he wants to do after. Bitcoin. So I haven't looked at Bitcoin for quite a while, but basically let me just clear up this chart because it's a little bit of a mess with all the lines here. So if you remember, yesterday I talked about Ethereum, which was kind of coiling up here a little bit. Similar story here on Bitcoin, and the crypto is also coiling up a little bit. So we can try to draw this upside line here, taken from the low of the 3rd of November. And also, let me just see if it's actually an ideal one. I mean, to be honest, this is looking quite more of a ascending, ascending triangle formation. But well, it does have a little slight tilt here. But in a way, for now, I'm going to keep an eye on this pattern. So I'm not going to. Like I said, it could be an ascending triangle, but like I said, there is a bit of a tilt, so that's why I'm gonna be very careful. Now, of course, if it is an ascending triangle, then we need to wait for at least to break through the upper side of it before kind of examining higher levels. Because again, just to be on a safe side, and just to be able not, or should I say, in order not to get caught out here, because we've seen this happening several times when an ascending triangle actually breaks to the downside and then takes out a lot of traders and then reverses and pushes higher. So that's why be very careful with this one. If we see a pop above the current highest point of November near the 15,888 territory, that's where we could start looking at some higher levels again, and aiming for some higher ones, and basically because such a move would confirm a forthcoming higher high. In terms of the downside, well, I mean, here if we see a break of this upside line here, then keep your eyes on the low here of 10th of November, and or should I say yesterday's low near the 15,077 level. And as we drop below it, may open the door towards further declines here, or at least short-term declines, but nevertheless declines, and then we'll take it from there, guys. Now jumping back to the daily chart, AUD USD. So here the pair is finally moving higher. Yesterday, as you can see, it closed, it ended the day candle here in between these two levels. I talked about this yesterday, guys, and this is basically a quick update on what I was saying yesterday, that we would need to wait for at least a good break through one of those levels, either above the 0.7290 level or below the 0.7245 territory. So we had a nice pop above this one, above the this barrier right here. Now the next target is, of course, this 0.7345 level, but if that is just seen as a little temporary obstacle, then of course my next target will be the highest point of September near the 0.741314 level, approximately around here, guys, and then I'll take it from there. But for now, as long as this pair stays above the 0.7290 level, I'll remain positive. If the pair suddenly starts dropping below the 0.7245 territory, now this is where I'll shift my attention to some lower areas. USD CAD. Now here the pair is stuck, so it's still stuck above this area. Let me just quickly put this one on the chart. So this one right here, guys. So in other words, for now, we're waiting here to see what's going to happen, because to be honest, it's a no one's game here right now. Although it seems to be willing to travel lower, it had already decent decline, so maybe we'll just have to wait for this one to make a move. And in terms of the upside, we need to see at least a push maybe above the 1.3081 territory here, or even better, the 1.3178 zone right here, and then yes, we could aim for some higher levels. But in terms of the downside here, we need to see a drop, at least a good drop below this 1.2995 territory. I would also like to see the daily candle remaining below this highlighted area, and then yes, I could consider lower areas. USD CAD now, oh sorry, USD CAD, USD ruble. Now this one is quite interesting, and if you know my videos already and you know my style of trading, I mean just my style of analysis, I do like to look at these exotic pairs. To be honest, I mean these present themselves with very nice technical setups, and for example, right now we can see that the pair is testing this key support zone. Now previously when I looked at this one, as you can see by the drawings that I have here still, previously I talked about a potential falling wedge pattern, which of course is a bullish indication, and this is exactly what happened. So we had a nice push higher. It reached my levels perfectly. Look at this. I mean, this 80.76 territory, that's what I was aiming initially, and yep, perfect hit. Now we're seeing a reversal. Well, we saw already a reversal, and it's now near this key support level. Now first of all, let me get rid of some of these lines, no longer needed, but what's more important here right now will be this key support zone right here, guys. So let me just put this one on the chart. There we go, and that's near the 76 territory. Yep, so that's roughly around here. So a nice good drop below the 76 line, of course, may open the door towards further declines. And ideally, I would like to see that daily candle staying below it, because what I don't want to see is our false breakouts like we had here on Monday, for example. So yep, and if we do see that daily candle remaining below it, then wonderful, good news for the for the sellers here, and then we could start looking at this 100-day EMA here shown as the green line, or even the 74.58 territory. Now probably let me just lift this arrow here a little bit. That's going to be my target first, and then we'll take it from there, guys. In terms of the upside, I would need to see maybe a push not above this level right now, but maybe a push above this the current highest point of this week, near the 77.67 territory, and then yep, I could consider some higher levels. GBP/NZD, haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but yep, also quite interesting. Look at this kind of choppiness here in the past 3 days here. So basically on Monday we had a sharp decline, then on Tuesday we had a sharp up move, and today we're having a sharp decline again. So basically, guys, be very careful with this pair. I know it's tempting sometimes, it does present itself with nice opportunities, but at the moment, basically, yeah, it's really not really ideal one. So how we could play this one out is keep your eyes on the current lowest point of this week, near the 1.9221 territory right here. If we get a nice break below this, then yep, this could open the door towards a possible slide towards the lowest point of September, near the 1.9060 level. However, given this choppiness here, and given the steep decline already that we saw here, then well, I would like to see the daily candle remaining below this 1.9221 zone. If it drops lower but still ends up climbing back above this hurdle, well, I mean, maybe it's not really ready to move lower yet. But even with the upside, I cannot really talk about the upside yet as well until we get a clear break of this downside line right here. Yep, there we go, taken from the high of the 22nd of October. A nice good pop above this, and a push above the current highest point of this week here, near the 1.9485 level could, yep, do the trick for more buyers. At the same time, it would place the rate above the 21-day EMA, and like I said, yep, more buyers could join in here. But for now, I'm examining this hurdle right here, this 1.9221 zone, and let's see how this is going to play out, guys. Now euro against the Turkish Lira, and looking at this beautiful move here on Monday, and yesterday we had a nice recovery here. It traveled higher, but failed to climb back above this upside line. And today, what I'm going to be looking at here is finally we might be seeing this nice confirmation where the pair could drift lower again. And basically for now, what I'm going to be targeting here is this the 9.4690 level, so approximately around here, guys. And a nice good drop below this, of course, would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and the next target here could be this 9.20. Let's round it up to 50. So 9.2050 level could be the next target. And if, of course, if that gets cleared, then the next one here to keep an eye on could be this this low of the 25th of September near the 8.76 territory. Or actually, let me just rephrase that, because my next target probably will be that psychological 9 level. So that's correct. So yeah, I'll take that back a little bit here. So basically, if we get a nice drop below the 9.4690 level, then yes, this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and lower levels could be met. So, and like I said, initially we'll target the 9.2050 zone, and then the psychological 9 level. And finally, Euro USD. So here the pair is stuck a little bit, I would say. As I said to you guys yesterday, I'm gonna remain a little bit on the neutral side for now, as long as it stays here. In order to aim for some higher levels, I need to see a push above the 1.1867 level again. But if it doesn't, if it's instead it falls below the 1.1787 territory right here, then yep, I'll start maybe considering some lower areas here within this this little range here where the pair is currently stuck at. So, and that range is roughly between the 1.1867 here on the upside and the 1.1612 on the downside. In a way, actually, let me just adjust some of these things here, guys. Now, probably what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep an eye on this 1.1880 level instead, because you can see that that was the high of the 21st of October. On the 6th and 7th of November, 6th and the 9th of November, the daily candles failed to stay above this area. So yep, maybe actually I'll have to re-look at this and keep my eyes on the 1.1880 level. So there we go, guys. So sometimes you need to have a look at this from a different perspective here, and basically yep, for now probably that's the level that I'm going to keep an eye on, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. So a nice good pop above this 1.1880 territory may open the door towards higher levels, so be very careful with that. Keep your eyes on this one, and let's see how this is going to play out. So guys, thank you very much for joining in. I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much. Like I said, I hope you found it useful. If you want to catch my video later on, my trader's tea time is always 14:15 GMT time. But for now, guys, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Bye bye.